悪口を言うと労働組合に怒られるし、労働組合の批判をすると会社の職制から怒られるということを言いますけど、そういう形でどこに向かってもですね、労働者が自分の本音を言うとか、あるいは異議申し立てをですねするとか。
Well hidden behind the mask is this place, Sanya. Sanya is a district of Tokyo that has not appeared on maps of the city since 1966. It's an embarrassment. Sanya is a place of flophouses, controlled by the Yakuza, Japan's mafia, and inhabited by unemployed and destitute men who crowd onto the streets in the early morning to fight for a day's work. These desperate men are rushing the office of a subcontractor, hoping to get a day's wage from which gangsters take their cut. Several attempts to organize unions have ended in bloodshed. In 1985, more than 200 people died on Sanya's streets. That such a desperate jobs market should exist at all in Japan raises far-reaching questions about the Japanese economy. The post-war labor laws giving workers the right to organize and negotiate were perhaps the most important in bringing democracy to Japan, because they meant that ordinary people could at last challenge the power of the huge companies that had controlled the economy and fueled the war. But in 1946, General MacArthur cancelled the right of public workers to strike, even to be elected to local government. He said Japan's stability was at stake. But what was really at stake was Japan's compliant role in American economic and Cold War strategy. Instead, company unions were formed and achieved high wages for elite workers, while the majority remained low-paid. The legacy of MacArthur's ban was the weakening of real trade union opposition in Japan. Thus, today, the outside world sees only the mask of a docile workforce and a consensus society.
You know, many of the myths the Japanese have about themselves are myths that they borrowed from us. The myth of Japan as a consensus society, well, that's an American invention. The Japanese have taken it over very, very joyfully because it fits in with some of the things they like the world to think about them, but it's an American invention. And it's another myth. This isn't a consensus society. Somebody, some boss tells them what to do, but before he tells them what to do, there's a certain amount of happy talking so that everybody feels that he's had his say. But it's not a consensus.
By privatizing Japan's national railways, in effect asset stripping them, the government of Prime Minister Nakasone is determined to break one of the last unions to maintain its independence since 1945.